We are very happy to say hello to Jocelyn Boreta. Jocelyn Boreta is the co-founder of the Botanical Bus. It's a bilingual mobile herb clinic. She's a community organizer and herbalist, committed to cultivating health equity through the empowerment of indigenous knowledge and self-healing communities. She says, herbalism is activism. It shows us that we are connected to the earth, that we know how to heal ourselves, our families, and our communities with the plants that grow around us. There you have it. For over 5 years, Jocelyn has offered weekly, free, bilingual wellness workshops at community gardens and health centers throughout Sonoma County. She's a staff herbalist at Integrative Health Clinic, Pharmacopoeia, and co-founder again of the Botanical Bus, the bilingual mobile health clinic. Her community activism has roots in 10 years working as program director of the Global Exchange Fair Trade Stores in partnership with indigenous women in Guatemala, Peru, and India to sustain cultural integrity and livelihood. Jocelyn holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Cultural Anthropology from the University of California, Santa Barbara, and certification in herbalism from the California School of Herbal Studies. We are immensely grateful that Jocelyn was able to make the time to join us today virtually. And she is going to talk to us about community-empowered health, health, equity, and herbalism. Now, please welcome, with tremendous gratitude, Jocelyn Boreta. Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi. I hope that I'm joining you all and you're enjoying your cups of tea from your own cozy homes. Sorry that we're not all together. But I would like to start with an opening exercise that we do in our workshops together. I'm the executive director of the Botanical Bus, a bilingual mobile herb clinic. And in our wellness workshops, we start with an activity that is borrowed from one of our partner organizations, ALMAS, which is Alianza de Mujeres Activas y Solidarias. It's a Women's Action and Solidarity Alliance, that they're an organization of immigrant domestic workers. And the beginning of all their meetings, they do this beginning somatic activity. And I'd like to start off our talk, if you join me in it from your own home. So you can stand or you can sit. You can keep your eyes open. You can keep your eyes closed. It's whatever feels the most at ease for yourself. But you're going to move your attention to your body, and you're going to notice the sensations, the emotions, and the inner dialogue. Notice what it is. Center by bringing your attention and your breath to your belly. Feel yourself more than think yourself. From center, fill out your length and think about dignity, what that means to you. Fill out your width and think about community, giving out and receiving in. Fill your depth. Think about your past, your future, and your longing. Connect consciously to your commitments. Speak them to yourself. Fill out into your length, your width, and your depth. those commitments. Thank you. Helping me ground into my commitments. And I'll just express them to this beautiful group of people that right now I am committed as an herbalist, as a mother, as a community member, as a human being, to health equity. And I'm thinking a lot about how health equity is possible only through the empowerment of community and of people. And I am also thinking today about how equity in general is empowered through bringing resources to the community. And in this situation today, defunding policing of people and bringing the power into the community, the power and the resources of the community to find their own solutions for their livelihoods and their health. So the organization that we've started, my personal history has been explained in my introduction, so I won't get too much into that. But I just do want to say I come from a family of immigrants. My grandmother was a farm worker, and I've become more and more fascinated and connected to plants and ethnobotany and just how plants empower people. And I'm a people person, and I love how plants help people. I want to also bring into the room, they're not with us, but who we are, who the Botanical Bus is way bigger than me and what I have to say about it. I'm just going to bring in some testimonials, the voices of the women who we are partnered with, the promotoras. Promotora in Spanish is a word for community health worker, community health leader. So today here with us in spirit is Georgina. Georgina is 84 years old. She's been attending our workshops for the last 5 years, and I just want to bring her words here today. Georgina says, I think herbal medicine came to me while I was in my mother's womb, because before there were not many doctors and my mother's pregnancy was difficult. Only herbal medicine saved me. Now that I'm 86 years old, I use it with more familiarity and with great love. Georgina immigrated here from Peru in her early years. Now she's 86. Another participant in our program's name is Eileen. She's here with us today. I learned to use herbal medicine from my parents in Peru, where my mother had a beautiful garden. The first plant that I can remember using is plantain. I use it for many things when I have a little cough or vaginal rinses or when there is a wound or infection. Gives me new strength to know that nature has all the plants within our reach that we can use. It is a great alternative that we can offer ourselves and turn over to our community. And there's this final quote from my partner in starting this organization, Ángeles Quiñones. She says, our wellness workshops give me security in knowing I can care for myself and my family. Everything I learn and share with my community is based on living experience and tradition, and our herbal remedies work. I have the power to feel better. So the Botanical Bus is a bilingual mobile herb clinic, and our mission statement is to empower holistic health through culturally relevant, community-driven programs. We've been doing this work for the last 5 years, but it really came together during the 2017 fires in the North Bay, where we started meeting weekly at Latino health and service centers throughout Sonoma County, community gardens and social justice events. We're partnered with La Luz Center, Corazon Healdsburg, Great and Day Labor Center, North Bay Organizing Project. We have really new exciting partnerships with United Farm Workers and Daily Acts. We continue to build coalitions within the community. That's really the focus and the foundation of our clinic, being in the community and building coalitions and meeting people where they are. I want to start with the idea of something that they call public health, self-healing community model, the self-healing community model. And it's the idea that really that healthcare is a social movement and that herbalism is activism. There's a study, and the whole idea that we're empowering healthcare or wellness is empowered by the people for the people. I'm going to reference an interesting case study by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. They studied a county, Colitz, Washington, and for about over 10 to 15 years, they studied an under-resourced county with really high levels of unemployment, mother birth ages about a high rate of young birth, about age like 10 to 17, women are giving birth. There's a lot of violence against self and others, high rates of chronic disease, hospitalizations for suicide, and high school dropout rates. And in studying this community over this 10 to 15 years and actually expanding it to communities across the state, the outcomes were really clear that investment in the community, in building leadership within the community, paying local coordinators is part of that, building that leadership, creating learning communities and self-organizing networks that are based on family networks, and honestly, a deep respect for community knowledge and for traditional knowledge. You act from a place of strength and recognize the strength of the community and rely on peer-to-peer help and meet people where they are at. And this really strengthens the community and improves the overall health outcome within the community. And it's nice to reference the scientific study that showed really, really clear outcomes of that. The births to teen mothers went down 62%, infant mortality went down 43%, youth suicide went down 98%, youth arrest and violent crime dropped 53%, high school dropout rates decreased 47%. Investment in community, we all know this in our heart, but the statistics support it. I want to reference a study. I actually also want to just read a quote from that study that was really powerful. A focus on community, we're enhancing prevention, we're healing, we're building resilience through investing in community. So, and this is in opposition to, or not opposition to, but just instead of the model of top down offering limited services. So it's just a really nice quote I'd like to share with you. Service system silos of programming, mazes of eligibility and application processes, and limited availability in many of the communities most in need allow escalation of adversity across life course and lead to an ever-increasing demand for top-down services. The cost of these services prohibits their use as a primary strategy for addressing common problems and adversity and trauma. Services are generally not designed to address 4 or 5 co-occurring major health and social problems concurrently. Even with co-occurring problems, such as, we're talking about trauma, and it's that layer with other, chronic diseases such as asthma, diabetes, and it's just the allopathic limited services that are offered are valuable, but limited and not sustainable. So investment in community is healing, and particularly in the Latino community, which is who we work with, who we partner with the Botanical bus in our bilingual mobile herb clinics. Sonoma County is 25% Latino. And according to the American Human Development Index, there's also a really great report called The Portrait of Sonoma County. It shows that Latinos have the least amount of access to health resources. They're the most oppressed population, at 25%. However, there's a really beautiful and empowering twist. They outlive all other populations in Sonoma County. They outlive white populations with little to no health resources. No insurance in a lot of cases, no legal status, living in fear of deportation, living in shared housing, especially in the times of COVID. It definitely has a negative impact on health. Stressful jobs, economic insecurity. But how beautiful is it that connection to family, connection to tradition, connection to recipes, nurturing recipes, and connection to herbalism. Herbalism is alive in the heart of the Latino community, and it is building healthy communities. It is helping to build healthy communities. So we are wanting to build our community from this place of strength, act from a place of strength, to foster self-healing communities that are not dependent on limited and often hostile government resources, and foster this beautiful traditional knowledge that exists in community. And if we couple it with some resources, we are just really inspired and motivated to be a part of this beautiful growth, this beautiful community. I want to talk a little bit about, well, I think I'll move to sharing, or just really emphasizing social determinants of health and how access to education, income, healthy food, clean water, air, nature, sustainable income, toxic stress, all these things impact people of color, and how it's really our responsibility to empower health in these communities, and especially act from a place of strength and power and deep respect for the knowledge and the leadership that is in the Latino community, that are in communities, Black communities, communities of color. So I want to start with sharing a few powerful recipes from our community leaders. We have a Promotora program in which community leaders rise to lead their own workshops. I'm going to share this beautiful recipe from Georgina, who I quoted earlier. She's immigrant from Peru, the highlands of Peru. And in Peru, every morning they would make their families this emollient tonic, which was specific for kidney health, and also for in her life, she told the story of her husband going out into the fields and working and really wanting to help his prostate health and kidney. They would make this beautiful emollient tonic. The recipe's on our website, which I will give. Water, barley, flax, pineapple skin and core, horsetail, plantain leaf, corn silk, alfalfa, and some raw honey. And I'll reference you to the website, but you generally simmer the ingredients that are not the leaf, not the plantain and alfalfa. Keep the leaves aside, but simmer the barley, the flax, the pineapple, the horsetail, the corn silk for about 20 minutes. Remove from heat and add the plantain leaf and the alfalfa. Let it steep. Add the honey, and you have a beautiful healing tonic for your mucosal lining and for kidney health and prostate health. I also really want to reference another really powerful recipe that's been shared with community, verdolagas a la mexicana, which are purslane. I've been just loving this recipe lately. Gathering that purslane, which is peak in season right now. Chopping up, simple as chopping up an onion, chopping up garlic, onion, tomato, purslane, steaming it for about 10 minutes, and you have a highly medicinal superfood that has really high levels of omega-3 fatty acid, high in zinc and copper or calcium. They optimize immune function. They reduce inflammation in the body, really high in vitamin A, really great for epithelial tissues. This is a food that is consumed in community. Linda, who shared the recipe with us, remembers harvesting verdolacas between rows of corn and beans in her family farm in Hidalgo, Mexico. And cooking these traditional foods is medicine in itself. And the deep indigenous knowledge of their benefit is scientific benefit stands. Let's see if there's another recipe that I want to share. We also have a really great recipe for nopales, agua fresca de nopales. You can put, despining the nopales is quite a job, but on our website also our promotoras have shared techniques to get rid of the spines quite easily. So I'll reference you there again, and I'll type the website in at the end into our chat. But once you just spine the nopal and you peel the edges, you can put it into a blender with parsley, spinach, celery, pineapple, apple, cucumber, chia seeds, blend it up, and you have an agua fresca that's amazing, specific for lowering blood sugar and type 2 diabetes. The woman who submitted and presented this recipe in community drinks this as an antihistamine, and also to help her partner who's a diabetic. This is just, again, really pushing into the deep knowledge that is in community, and asking ourselves what we can do, come into a community and serve the community with our herbalism, but instead reach into the community and say, how can I support you to share your knowledge with your community? How can I support you to, how can I bring resources in so that you can heal your community, because you are the best one to do it. And I think that what makes our clinic really unique, and that's why I'm comfortable starting an herb clinic or any type of mobile clinic, is that it's based on this very strong belief that the knowledge is in the community and needs to be respected and empowered. Otherwise, we're just coming in as a mobile clinic that offers limited services, and it kind of perpetuates this model of colonialism. So let me talk a little bit more. I know we just have a little bit more time. I want to give you some concrete facts about what our clinic is doing and how you can get involved. I've focused on our wellness workshops because I really do feel like that's what makes our clinic unique. But we are moving forward. It is an interesting time. COVID is really thrown us all for a loop, because our mission statement is to be in person, connect in person, build community in person. It is different on Zoom. But we are making it happen. We are currently coalition building with the United Farm Workers, with Great Day Labor Center, with Sonoma Valley Community Health Center, to organize a farm worker clinic caravan. So keep posted for that. We're really excited about it. And we continue to have our bi-weekly Zoom workshops with our community members. The topics we'll be moving into are herbs for sleep and stress. Promotora is going to lead a workshop on detoxification from sugar. We have a made by hand herbal craft day led by another promotora who will be showing us all how to embroider herbs onto handkerchiefs, embroider the shape of herbs. Herbal first aid will start around the time of crush in the wine country. For when we work at Great Day Labor Center, we have a lot of folks that are out in the fields during that time working long hours. So we do herbal first aid, and then we all together make salve for skincare. We'll make herbal immunity syrup. Every workshop we do is about hands-on activity, about people sharing the plants they already know, and us empowering each other to make herbal medicine together. I can address all that goes into starting a nonprofit herbal clinic. There's, I do think that it is really important. The most important thing is to build coalitions before before clinicians. So that's what I feel committed to. There's all different ways to do it, but we've really focused on building coalitions in the community, so that we have roots in the community, and we're meeting people where they are physically, at day labor centers, at food distribution sites where people are picking up free food, and also really identifying who are you working with, who are you empowering, and that's a really difficult question to answer. Instead of focusing, all of us can maybe get buried in, this is who I am, I'm an herbalist, these are the services I offer, these are my herbalist friends, this is our bus, this is where we're going. And then the most important part of making this healing work sustainable is lost. So I really encourage everyone who's with us in this really, really important time in empowering health with herbalism, because herbalism is the people's medicine. It's accessible and the knowledge is deep. That we go to the community and we build coalitions, and also we don't reinvent the wheel. There's lots of community organizations that are doing really empowering work, and partnership with them is power. Is there anything else? I think that I have, exhausted. I would really like to open it up at this point to question and answer.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure you know something.
Yes, we have questions. And first of all, I love everything you say. Empowerment, that's the key. And actually, I want to quote you from now on. You said, natural healthcare is a social movement. And I couldn't agree more. It is really, really has nothing to do where we come from, but actually where we're going. And it should be completely inclusive, and partnership is the key. So thank you for everything you do.
I'm going to enter in, because I referenced some resources on our website. We have recetas and remedios, which are recipes and remedies. We've got a bunch of really great recipes and remedies. We also have health equity resources. Both of the reports that I referenced are on there. They're really great reads.
What is your website, Jocelyn? Can you give us your website?
Yeah, I'll say it and then I'll write it in. It's www.thebotanicalbus.org. Botanicalbus.org. And yeah, www.thebotanicalbus.org. And also on there is our schedule of workshops and recent clinics. I actually didn't even address this huge campaign where we're distributing 1,000 garden kits with organic medicinal plants and tomatoes at food banks, which is a powerful campaign that we're actually looking for volunteers. It's Sonoma County based, but we're looking for volunteers to help us pot up plants and with distribution.
Yes.
Also, it's $50 to the cost of the garden kit, which is actually an amazing pot. It's called a geopot. It's a fabric pot, so you could grow plants on outside of your apartment building. And it's filled with organic soil, seeds, herbal teas, and plant medicine and food, plant starts. And we've factored out costs about $50 to get that kit to a family. So there's different ways to support that active campaign as well. So yeah, it's www.thebotanicalbus.org, and I'll just put it right there.
Yeah, that's great. Now, we had a question coming in. Can you tell us a little more about the bus itself?
Yes. So the bus is actually still being built.
Oh.
So we launched our nonprofit a year ago, not even in September. And I actually just ordered the name to go on the side of the bus, and we're actively soliciting donations of tincture and tea to supply the bus's tincture bar. So it is a vision still, but it's strategic. Like I hope I explained, it is really strategic that the bus itself is not rolling out. We spend a lot of time building coalitions. Like I'm so excited for the new partnership with United Farm Workers.
Yes.
And the bus actually is just something where we have it. We have the bus. We have the magnet for the side. It comes in a couple of days. But we're doing this. It's like an active. When I was invited to speak, we have a lot of experienced community organizing, and this clinic is in process. So.
And you already created the nonprofit, which is a huge hurdle, the 501c3. You already did this. So what was the biggest challenge you were facing in creating the nonprofit?
I think like everything, the biggest challenge is also the biggest success. I feel like that's always, there's like the underside and the upside. Like the challenge we have is also the greatest accomplishment. And really partnership. Like spending the time to partner with people and cultivate leadership. Working with people is a challenge. I think we've gone through, really spending time sitting in rooms, and also race and language, everything, all of our workshops are in Spanish. If there's an English speaking participant, and our clinic will be in Spanish too. It's a bilingual clinic, but Spanish, usually there's not a lot of English speaking participants, so it's all in Spanish, but if someone joins it, we do it in both. But anything that deals with race relations and empowerment of communities, and you really have to create space for people's trauma, and I feel like that's been a big challenge in partnership with organizations. It's taken a lot of time, and it's been a big challenge, but it's been wildly rewarding, and it's just love at the end of the day.
Yes, it takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication, and that is, you are an incredible role model for all of us who would like to manifest something similar to that. So that's really wonderful. Yes, thank you very much. And again, natural healthcare is a social movement. It is inclusive. This is what we need at these times. So had a question come in. We have still, time for one or two questions. What is the most important plant or medicine for these times? Is there any that stands out?
I guess I would say in the workshops that we lead, the topics are always determined by the community. So we'll have informal surveys at the end of each year in which everyone brings the topics forward that they'd like to talk about, and it's reflective of what the need is within the community. And even now, I feel like even in workshops that are like Saturday, we had a workshop on asthma and herbal anti-inflammatories for asthma and allergies, but we ended up talking about stress and trauma. About what it feels like not to breathe.
Yes.
And right now is a really, really important time to address that. So nervines, and also culturally relevant plants and accessible plants. Again, a perfect example in yesterday's presentation or workshop. There's so many plants we could address for, that we could talk about for asthma and allergies and stress. Mm-hmm. But I limited it to plants that we can find right here or that we would recognize. So, and that are culturally relevant. So plantain isn't necessarily for stress, but plantain is a plant that comes up over and over again. It's culturally relevant, especially in the Peruvian immigrant community. Mm-hmm. And great for right now with cough, COVID, allergies. And then the other one is, in Spanish, the name of plantain is llantén. Mm-hmm. Another plant ally that comes forward all the time is manzanilla, which is chamomile. Mm-hmm. And it's known, it's a part of everyday life for most Latino families. Yeah. And it's also an herb that helps the herbalists on the phone know how much it helps just with everything, and could be brought into any clinic and any conversation as a cure-all.
Yes, wonderful. Yes, so herbs which are local, they're accessible, and they're easily integratable in, the food rituals or nutritional, habits people have. It has to be familiar, then it will probably be much more integrated than something that is unfamiliar.
Yeah, culturally relevant.
Yes, culturally relevant. Yes, very, very wonderful. So, well, we have to just keep an eye on you where you're going with this, and hopefully we'll be able sooner than later to follow your footsteps in some regards and find our own way of making this become a reality in this county. And who knows, this may just be a movement that will be invigorated in other areas too. So Jocelyn, I want to thank you from all of us here and all on the line.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this
platform. Over 50 attendees at the moment. Thank you very, very much. What did you say?
I'm sorry, our internet is lagging. I said thank you for giving me the opportunity, this platform to talk about work.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, also for you and everyone else to know that the videos will be uploaded eventually on our website, and everybody's welcome to just, watch them over and over again. And actually, I've been writing, and I didn't catch it all, but just those few recipes you shared, I have to watch this again and write down the recipes you shared. So thank you very, very much from all of us. Thank you for being here, and hopefully there'll be a way to collaborate in the future together.
Partnership. This is moving forward through collaboration and partnership. Yes. So I look forward to that.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.